MD Board Gaming. We're continuing our series this week with now another classic game. This one is Clue. So if you like Clue, maybe try some of these other games. We have a list of 10 here. We're going to go back and forth which ones that you might want to try out if you like certain aspects of Clue. Okay, so first one on my list is Watson and Holmes. In Watson and Holmes, there's a display of different locations. You're visiting those locations, finding out different things about the case because something has gone awry. So you're trying to solve different puzzles and trying to get different leads than your opponents. And it's a race to see who solves the case. And that is Watson and Holmes.
Yeah, that's a good pick. My pick is Unlock. It's a series of games. It's card-based. And you are trying to solve a mystery or some kind of puzzle. And there are different cards that will actually give you access to different cards that give you more information the more that you find out about the case. It's very interesting, and it is also a game that can be sold or given to another friend to try when you finished a case, because there are so many different cases out there with varying difficulty. They range from easy to very difficult. And they can always be given to someone else to give them a try and see if they can beat your time on it. It has good app integration as well. There's an app that goes with it. We really enjoy playing it. Unlock series is what I'm going to go with.
Next, Awkward Guess. Little known game, I would say, unless you're really into the hobby. This one is very similar to Clue in that you're actually exchanging clues with your opponents. And they can decide, and you can decide, and together deciding how many clues you're going to give to each other. But you're enticed because if somebody's going to give you a lot of clues, you want to do business with them and get their clues as well. So everyone's getting information at different speeds, and you're just, again, another race to see who can solve the case. It's really interesting that the cards that are coming back and forth, and you're trying to see who's lying, who's not between these cards, because people are all these suspects are giving you different information. You have to decipher what is true and what isn't. There's some people that won't lie in the game, and you know that from the get-go. And there's other people that are pretty suspicious. So that's Awkward Guess.
And you get to mark everything down on a piece of paper, which is always a fun thing, cool. Very Clue-like as well. My pick next is Chronicles of Crime, another detective-style game, but this time you actually get to use your phone that has an app integration where you can view virtual reality and check out a crime scene, so that's very neat. It brings a lot of interest to the table if you're having anyone over and you want to show them a new game. Working together to solve a case, so it's a cooperative game, and you get to visit different locations and solve a mystery at the end. You're solving a crime. Usually it's something has happened, and you're going to be asked questions at the end, and you need to know the answers to those. So you don't want to leave anything unturned so that you're prepared to answer those questions at the end and hopefully solve the case and get a great score.
Yeah. My next one is similar to that one, Chronicles of Crime, Detective City of Angels, but it's going to throw you a curveball because there could be a hidden traitor in this game, or there will be. That's someone that's trying to maybe cast a shadow over what actually happened, throw some doubt so the other detectives don't know exactly. They have doubt and they cannot solve the case. So take what Vic said about Chronicles of Crime, takes a lot of those aspects where you're solving a mystery, working as a team, and there's just a curveball in this one. So that one is Detective City of Angels.
That's fun. Similar to Unlock series, there's an Exit series of games. This one is a little different though because it doesn't have any replayability. If you like destroying things, this game is for you. It uses a lot of interesting parts of the game. Won't spoil anything, but the mysteries really have you use your head to involve everything you can think of this game. You're cutting out pieces, you're putting things together, there's a lot of symbology, and you're looking very closely. Sometimes you had that card right to your eyeball to find clues, so you really feel like you're putting together a puzzle with your friends. It's another cooperative game, and it is very interesting. There will be some parts that will absolutely stump you, and you won't know what the answer is, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Next one on mine is Deception, Murder in Hong Kong. This one's a social deduction game where one person is telling the little clues. So they have a board and several boards that they can assign a pawn to say this little narrow path of clues. And it's up to the players to interpret what they mean by that. So everyone else on the board has a role, a hidden role. So somebody's a murderer, somebody a witness, and so forth. Different roles on the board. And you're really you have the 8 cards out in front of you, and that can be evidence. So if the clues that you're getting from the person leading the game, if they are giving you clues that kind of imply that maybe you are the suspect, people will start pointing fingers at you. You have to get off the target and just point and just say, hey, well, this person has the pistol, so that could be it because they use the term smoke. That's a smoking barrel.
Yeah.
And just off the wall things, everyone's pointing fingers, and you do have, if you're one of the bad people, the murderer, you do have somebody on your team that's trying to get some shade off you as well. So that's pretty cool, and that one is Deception, Murder in Hong Kong.
Game that is similar with deduction. It's not social deduction because you don't have anyone lying to you. This is a truth-telling game. Everybody has to tell the truth, and it is Cryptid. Cryptid is a game where everybody has a little bit of information about the habitat of this unknown creature, this cryptid, and you are slowly giving out where it possibly could be with what you know, and you only know what you know. So anytime you're asked, you have to answer truthfully that yes, this creature could be here, or no, and mark it accordingly on the board. And there are different markers that over time it'll become very clear where this is, and it is a very clever game where it's put together where it changes every time. It's not always in the same place. This game has high replayability, and it's just amazing how they worked it out. You'll be really impressed at actually finding the location of this cryptid where it might seem impossible when you only have one piece of information.
Yeah, another thing about that game that really reminds you of Clue is when you're other people have to prove that is not correct.
Yeah.
So just like that, Cryptid, when it goes around the table, people can go ahead and put a chip down and say, no, that's not possible. And that's just like Clue, where you're showing a card that says, no, Professor Plum is in my hand.
And you have to know who to ask, too. Like, you're only asking one person at a time. You're not saying, hey, everyone, can it be here? You need to ask that person across from you or the person beside you, whoever you want. You know, you got to ask them specifically, is it possible? So that's kind of cool.
I'm totally piggybacking off of Cryptid here because Search for Planet X is Cryptid in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. So if that sounded cool to you, Search for Planet X does that same similar deduction. It's not a social deduction again. It is a deduction though, where it's a newer game, so I hesitate to put it on because it's newer and it's out of print, but it is coming back in print anytime soon. I heard January. We're filming this at the end of January, so I'm not sure if it's coming February or any week now. But if Cryptid sounded cool to you, you gotta check out Search for Planet X as well.
Especially if you're a space fan.
Mm-hmm.
I think you gotta get into that for sure. Finally, our last game recommendation for games that are similar to Clue that you should try, Spectre Ops. Spectre Ops is a game that brings that element of race that you feel in Clue, where you really want to be the first one to solve the mystery. You want to be the one who says it first. But with Spectre Ops, you are actually tracking down other players using a secret map, where you are following along where you think they could be. It's a room-to-room thing, a giant board where no one's actually moving their pawns physically, but they're moving on a secret map that you can't see. So you're really hoping that you can be the one to say, aha, I gotcha. But there's little tools and tricks that they can use to evade capture. And one person is, are they trying to steal something? Is that, they're a secret agent?
Yeah, they're trying to get some stuff and get out.
Yeah, so when that thing is gone, you go, oh, you beat me. It's pretty interesting. I think it'd be a good pick if you like Clue and you like that element of a feeling like any minute now it could end. That one's for you. Well, that's our list of games that are similar to Clue. If you like this list or you have something to add, if you feel that we've missed a game, which, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of games that we missed that are similar to Clue, give us your 2 cents. Tell us in the comments below so that other people can discover those games as well. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and tune in next time for another awesome video from Nick and Vic.